For God so loved the world, that he gave his one and only Son, that whoever believes in him shall not perish, but have eternal life. This is the Easter story. When the religious leaders heard of Jesus coming to Jerusalem, they decided to get rid of him.
Did you hear Jesus is coming to town? What are we gonna do about him? He could present a big problem. How do we get rid of him?
Listen, you imbeciles. This is what we're going to do about the one called Jesus. He's merely a man, so we kill him. It's really hot out here. Is there some shade somewhere?
Hey, does anybody got any food? I'm starving.
Are we there yet? My feet hurt. Can we stop?
Stop complaining and listen close, for what I'm about to tell you is very important. We are going up to Jerusalem. The Son of Man will be handed over to the chief priest and the teachers of the law. They will sentence me to death. Then they will turn me over to people who are not Jews. The people will make fun of me and whip me. They will nail me to a cross. On the third day, I will rise from the dead. Now quit your complaining. There are more important things here than your temporary misfortunes. Before we continue, there is something I need. John, Mark, there is something I need you to do for me. Go to the village ahead of you. As soon as you get there, you will find a donkey tied up. Her colt will be with her. Untie them and bring them to me. If anyone says anything to you, say that the Lord needs them. The owner will send them right away. Excuse me, kind sir, but the Lord needs your donkey and your colt.
Well, if the Lord has need of them, then by all means, take them right away. They're over here.
Thank you. We'll have them back as soon as we're done.
Don't mention it. It's an honor to serve the Lord. And good luck with whatever you need him for.
The people were so excited when Jesus entered. They all started yelling.
Jesus!
Hosanna! 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 Master! Jesus is teaching in the temple when confronted by religious leaders. If you only had the faith of a mustard seed, you could move mountains. By what authority are you doing these things?
Who gave you this authority?
I will also ask you one question. If you answer me, I will tell you by what authority I am doing these things. Where did John's baptism come from? Was it from heaven? Or did it come from men?
We don't know.
But I won't tell you by what authority I am doing these things either. Jesus and his disciples are in the house of a man named Simon in the town of Bethany. And then I told him, is there any more wine? Why this waste? The perfume could have been sold at a high price. Yeah, and the money could have been given to the poor. Why are you bothering this woman? She's done a beautiful thing to me. You will always have the poor with you, but you will not always have me. She poured the perfume on my body to prepare me to be buried. What I'm about to tell you is true. What she has done will be told anywhere this good news is preached all over the world. It will be told in memory of her.
What if I told you I could give you Jesus? What would you give me?
How about 30 silver pieces? Do we have a deal?
I'll let you know when it's the right time.
And I'll even take you to him myself. So much for friends.
Now this is what we're gonna do.
Jesus and his disciples are having their Passover feast before he is sentenced to death. Come on, pass some bread.
It's delicious.
Any more wine?
Any more chicken?
Listen, what I'm about to tell you is true. One of you will hand me over to my enemies.
Who will do that?
Why would someone do it?
Who is it? Is it you?
No,
somebody
not me.
Did I?
I didn't do it.
Is it me?
Why would anyone?
It's not me, is it?
Tell us, Messiah. Who is it? The one who has dipped his hand into the bowl with me will hand me over. The Son of Man will go just as it is written about him. But how terrible it will be for the one who hands over the Son of Man. It would be better for him if he had not been born.
Is it I, Rabbi?
Yes, it is. O Father, bless this bread which is about to be broken. Take and eat this bread. This is my body that is broken for you. Do this in remembrance of me. Father, bless this cup which is about to be spilled. This is my blood that is shed for you. Take and drink. Do this in remembrance of me. Jesus and his disciples go to the Garden of Gethsemane to pray, where Jesus is betrayed by Judas. Listen, I must tell you that tonight you will all turn away because of me. But when I rise from the dead, I will meet you all in Galilee. No, all the others may turn away from you, but I never will. Peter, it will happen this very night. Before the rooster crows, you will say 3 times that you don't know me. What? No! I would gladly die for you, Lord. I would never say I don't know you. Peter, James, and John, please accompany me. My soul is very sad. I feel close to death. Stay here. Keep watch with me. My Father, if it is possible, take this cup of suffering away from me. But let what you want be done, not what I want. Couldn't you men keep watch with me for 1 hour? Watch and pray. Then you won't fall into sin when you are tempted. The spirit is willing, but the body is weak. My Father, is it possible for this cup to be taken away? But if I must drink it, then let it be done. Again, he found them sleeping. They couldn't keep their eyes open, so he left them and went away once more. Lord, if there is no other way for this cup to be taken away from me, then let your will be done. For I am your servant, and I will do as you command. Are you still sleeping and resting? Look! The hour is near. The Son of Man is about to be handed over to sinners. Get up. Let us go. Here comes the one who is handing me over to them. Greetings, Rabbi. Hello, friend. Do what you came to do. That's him. Arrest him. No! You won't take him! Put your sword away. All who use the sword will die by the sword. Do you think I can't ask my Father for help? He would send an army of more than 70,000 angels right away. But then how would the scriptures come true? They say it must happen in this way. Am I leading a band of armed men against you? Do you have to come out with swords and clubs to capture me? Every day I sat in the temple corridor teaching, and you didn't arrest me. But all this has happened so that the words of the prophets would come true. And as Jesus had said, his disciples ran away. The soldiers took Jesus to Caiaphas, the high priest.
We don't need you around here.
This man spreads false hope everywhere he goes. He also attacked merchants in the temple. He also works on the Sabbath. Upon hearing these accusations, Jesus still remained silent.
The one called Jesus claims to destroy the temple.
He also said he can rebuild it in 3 days. Aren't you going to answer? What are these charges that they bring against you? I command you, under oath by the living God, tell us if you are the Christ, the Son of God. Yes, it is just as you say. But here's what I say to all of you. In days to come, you will see the Son of Man sitting at the right hand of the Mighty One. You will see the Son of Man coming on the clouds of heaven. Blasphemy! He has spoken a very evil thing against God. Why do we need any more witnesses? You have heard him say this evil thing. He must die! Hey, you were with Jesus of Galilee. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, you follow Jesus of Nazareth. You're wrong. I don't know him.
You must be one of them. The way you talk gives you away. You're lying. I've never met the man. I don't know him.
Oh no. What have I done? The soldiers take Jesus to stand before the governor and determine his fate. You're a troublemaker. Get out of here. He commits blasphemy. He calls himself the Messiah. He's a liar. He says he's the Son of God. Are you the King of the Jews? Yes, it is as you say. Don't you hear the charges they are bringing against you? Why don't you answer? Still, Jesus said nothing. It was the governor's practice at the Passover feast to let one prisoner go free. The people could choose the one they wanted. At that time, they had a well-known prisoner named Barabbas. Before you stands 2 prisoners. Which one do you want me to set free? The notorious robber, murderer known as Barabbas? Or Jesus, who is called Christ? Barabbas! Barabbas! Then what should I do with the one called Jesus? Crucify him! Kill him! Cross! But why? What crime has he committed? As you wish, but I wash my hands of this. His blood is on you. We and ourselves will take the guilt and dust. Yeah, we'll take him. You heard them. Set Barabbas free, and send Jesus to be whipped. Then give him to the people. So the guards took him inside, dressed him in royal robes, put a staff in his hand, and a crown of thorns on his head, and mocked him. Glory to the King of the Jews! Oh, Jesus Christ! Then they took him outside and stripped him and beat him. So much for being a king.
Some king you are. Yeah, you get out of here.
After they finished beating him, they made him carry his own cross to a place called Golgotha, which means place of the skull. Unfortunately, he was too weak to carry it and fell, so they got a man from the crowd to carry it for him.
You there! What is your name?
Simon of Cyrene, sir.
Good. Come carry this cross for him.
Yeah!
Spare no
Crucify
pain.
him! Yeah!
Crucify him!
Nail it hard!
Make it hard! Make him bleed!
So they nailed him to the cross, and above his head they placed the written charge against him that read, "This is Jesus, the King of the Jews." After that, they divided up his clothes by casting lots. Save yourself! Yeah, come down from the cross if you really are the Son of God. He's King of Israel. Let him come down from the cross. They will believe. He can save others, but he can't save himself. He trusts in God. Let God rescue him now if he wants him. If you really are the Christ, then save yourself, and us too. Don't you have any respect for God? Remember, you are under the same sentence of death. We are being punished fairly. We are getting just what our actions call for. This man hasn't done anything wrong. Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. Today, you will be with me in paradise. Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani. My God, why have you deserted me? It is finished. At that moment, the earth shook, the rocks split, tombs broke open, and bodies of many people who had died were raised to life. Even the temple curtain was torn in two from top to bottom.
Truly, he was the Son of God.
A man named Joseph, who had recently become a follower of Jesus, had requested to take the body of Jesus down from the cross and bury it in a tomb that he had carved out for himself. Why would they kill him? I'm truly sorry, Mary. What has he ever done to anybody but helped? Why?
Sit him down nice and easy. There we go. We'll be placing guards at the entrance to ensure that no one steals the body. I am truly sorry, Lord, for I have wronged you. I have denied knowing you, and I am ashamed. Please, forgive me.
The Sabbath day was now over. It was dawn on the first day of the week. Mary Magdalene and the other Mary went to look at the tomb. But what they found was an angel sitting on the rock that blocked the entrance next to an empty tomb. Don't be afraid. I know that you are looking for Jesus, who was crucified. He is not here. He is risen, just as he said he would. Come and see the place where he was lying. Go quickly. Tell his disciples he is risen from the dead. He is going ahead of you into Galilee. There you will see him. So the women hurried away from the tomb. They were afraid, but they were filled with joy. They ran to tell the disciples.
We must hurry and tell the others.
Greetings.
Oh, Messiah, it really is you. The angel is telling the truth.
Don't be afraid. Go and tell my brothers to go to Galilee. There they will see me.
How deep the Father's love for us, how vast beyond all measure, that He should give His only Son to make a richest treasure. How great the pain of searing loss! The Father turns His face away, as wounds which mar the chosen one bring many sons to